Oh boy, look at this. Oh yeah. See what I see, T-Rex? You see the birdies? You see the dendrites? You see the door? Yeah, this door, Rex. This is the door. It's one of our favorite doors to come out. We have a lot of different doors. And look at this. Oh my goodness. This is called S plus, heavy snow in the vernacular. It's about 7:15 on April 8th, the second week of April. And it's snowball snow, but we're at the base here of Mount Mansfield. See Mount Mansfield? No, you don't. And it's about 29, 30 degrees here. And the sun was out yesterday, even though it was kind of a cold day. So the ground was a little bit warmer. But it's snowing so fast now that it is accumulating pretty close to a half inch or an inch an hour. How pretty is this? It's a really dynamic situation. This morning, looking at the wind, my webcam there in Weymouth, where the wind is coming from the northeast. Usually ahead of a front like this, your wind is not from the northeast. It's from the south, ahead of an incoming cold front. But as we've been talking about for some time, we've got dueling low-pressure systems. One is out over the ocean to the east in Nantucket. That's inducing the counterclockwise flow of the wind from the northeast in southeastern Massachusetts. Here's the morning temperature map in the 30s. In southern New England also, 30s up here, where the wind is more from the south up here because of the incoming. It's actually a combination warm front, cold front that's going over northern Vermont right this minute, and it's going to be such a dynamic day. Every time you look out the window, it's going to be doing something a little different. But I think the best part of this minute right now, look how happy T-Rex is, that there's no wind right here. The snow is falling straight down because we're near the center of the developing low pressure center. So here, the air is mostly just going up vertically. It's going up and it's coming in from all directions. And that ascension is what causes cooling, condensation, and these beautiful dendrites. And now as the cyclogenesis increases, there is going to be a lot of wind developing today, but we're going to be like in the eye of it for a few hours here. There is a wind advisory, though, in effect in parts of New England for gusts up to 50 miles an hour. This storm that's coming across northern Vermont's not much of a storm yet, but it's deepening, and it turns into about a 994 low moving out of Maine this afternoon and evening. So we're going to have a little lull in the snow here because the dynamic is going to go from the warm air advection. Temperature on Mount Washington this morning, 15 degrees. And remember, yesterday was 10. So yeah, technically this is called warm air advection. When the cold bashes into the warmth, that's another reason to make it snow. And then when that low goes by, it turns back into cold air advection. And after a lull in the snow around noontime or so, or 10 to 2, picks back up. And it's going to be kind of blizzardy here by sunset as the cold air and the upslope causes another few inches of snow. So I've been telling people 6, but I've been really thinking 8 for around here. All right, we're going to go make some turns and come right back. Probably be a little bit more windy at that point. Where'd T-Rex go? All right. See you in a second. About 11 a.m. I think T-Rex might sit this one out, but it is exciting out the window, out the door. We've got a special guest. We may hear from Mr. Weir Lundstedt here in a moment as we go out this door and we see blue sky. Weir said the sun was going to come out today. It's almost like that eye of the storm feature that we talked about, where the center of the low is coming right at us. And look at the temperature is still right at 32. We have some dripping, but it's refreezing. That's off the roof. You can hear the birds singing. And look at this midwinter beauty here in the second week of April. And like I said, the center of this low would have a calm spot. And we're right now briefly in sort of in between the front that went by this morning, kind of warm front. Now the cold front's coming at us. And we've had snow showers and snow squalls reported all the way down Joey in Tolland, Connecticut. And also lake effect. Kevin Williams in Rochester coming off of Lake Erie. Wow. So we've got lake effect. This is Arctic air coming through here. And we had about 4 inches of snow already this morning. And it's still coming in, and we're expecting at least 4 more. And I got to write the J blog today. That's going to be a challenge. I'm glad Weir is here because he's an expert on mesoscale snow. That's when it's a very localized, heavy snow. But what a system. If we look at the satellite imagery, you get the low that's coming across northern Vermont. There are some sunny breaks. And incidentally, this is a new geostationary satellite. It's called GOES 19. And you get the low offshore. And so we had those competing lows. Now they're low offshore is going to take off. That's down to about 994, so that's a little stronger than we were thinking. And this low that's going right over us with the cyclogenesis is a 997 low. And our temperatures by 11 a.m., you can see that we're in the 20s. Pittsfield, Massachusetts, had a snow squall this morning. Now it's drier air coming in. And the summit of Mount Washington, still just ahead of the front, was at 15 degrees last time I looked, with the wind only 20 miles an hour. But the wind is definitely going to ramp up. There's actually, I talked about it already, wind advisory in effect in parts of southern New Hampshire and Massachusetts. So let's go to the NAM high res. It comes in and it completes at 10:30. That's why I waited to see this. And there is our cyclogenesis, the offshore storm taking its precipitation away. And these batches of blue are intense. And then if we stop it, hey, is there anybody in there knows about the NorLun Instability Trough? Is that a NorLun Instability Trough at 1 or 2Z? That's 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. No, hey, T-Rex is out. Come on out, Weir. Oh, right. What do you got? First of all, what's your name?
First name is Weir Lundstedt.
Lundstedt. And how did it become a NorLun Instability Trough?
Well, a guy I was working with, he was kind of instrumental in kind of looking over the research I was doing, because it was really frustrating me that our models back in the day,
25 years ago?
30 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
Really didn't pick up these this little mesoscale feature. But I will say nowadays the models have gotten a lot better.
So it must have been a Nor in his name?
Well, yes, Nor. So,
Nor.
Yeah.
So NorLun, and you gave him the first syllable.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain to us, show us what you got there.
So the front that's coming through, swinging through, bundle of energy, gave us the snow shower squalls across parts of New England, continues into Maine. And what happens is there's a weak low under the upper level low, but it's going to transfer the energy. And as it does, it leaves behind this trailing trough. But in so doing, the air is becoming very unstable, and you get a really narrow band of some intense snow. And it looks like it will persist for a couple of hours, but once the secondary low takes over, the trough axis kind of collapse, and then everything kind of breaks apart. But it'll be really interesting across parts of Maine, especially this evening.
And what can happen? What is the unusual feature of?
I mean, you can get 2-3 inches of snow if everything's just right, an hour, and if it persists for numerous hours. Back in the day in '92, there were 2 events. One in Portland, Maine, almost 2 feet of snow, very localized, just southwest along the coast around Portland, and Cape Cod had 1 to 2 feet with the same axis.
And we go years without one of these.
We haven't had one. I would say we haven't had one in probably 5 years or so. And this isn't really, I would say, a classic one, but it's a nice.
So the one low jumps, and that means the winds from the north here and from the south here, and it just focuses the energy.
And the cold air comes in much quicker aloft, destabilizes, just cold enough.
We're looking at some highlights of you skiing this morning. How was the skiing this morning?
Unbelievable. April 8th, but here in the Northern Green Mountains, they're known for.
So how much more are we getting on the backside of this?
We'll have another 3 to 6 tonight with the cold air coming in, the upslope.
All right.
Good dendritic growth region. It's going to be great tomorrow morning.
All right.
Don't tell too many people, though.
Okay.
I want to.
All right. You want to chime in on what's going to happen here Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
No.
Okay, we'll take that now. All right, so we'll continue. Thank you, Weir. And T-Rex actually came out for a moment. All right, he's going to check the market. So really fascinating, great skiing today. Thank you, Mr. Lund of NorLun Trough. And we'll continue that now, NAM, high res. And that was Tropical Tidbits. That's why his was more vivid, and it was a better sector. And I use Pivotal, so that's the difference there. And there's the back edge of the snow kind of lifting out about midnight or so, and that whole NorLun Trough collapses and goes out. And by sunrise tomorrow morning, that 510 line that we've been talking about so much, the Arctic air coming right into the very northern reaches of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, that 510 line is lifting out. So it looks like the 516 tries to dip back down. So there's some instability, but very dry air and mostly confluence aloft. Tomorrow should be sun and those pretty cumulus clouds mixed. A freeze all the way down to the south coast of New England tonight. And then tomorrow afternoon, here comes the next batch of precipitation. It's about a 30 high or so coming right over us. Radiational cooling again. Thursday morning starts off near freezing, and then this goes out now through Thursday at 8 p.m. Green is rain, blue is elevation snow with a warm front coming at us on Thursday. Here comes another system, and that one may spend days here in the Northeast with many incarnations. So let's just show the snowfall amounts and the NAM high res before we go to the Euro long big picture range forecast. There's the snow, and then you see the blues are 1 to 3 inches, so we're pretty much done with any snow in southern New England now, but that was quite the spectacle to have snow 2 days in a row, 7th and 8th of April. And in northern Vermont, just the highest peaks here are looking at 6 to 10. And then you get over to New Hampshire, up around maybe Jackman, Maine, where you're in that axis of the NorLun Trough. It looks more like 16 to 20, and that could all be very localized. So Jackman, Maine. Any snowmobilers left in Jackman? I don't think so. Most of the snow is gone at lower elevations, but quite a spectacle. And so we have definitely sort of winter 4.0 right now. I can feel it getting darker. So we skied all over the place up there. And the woods, just enough, it was very soft snow and refroze, but it was just enough snow. The drop in the ropes, I saw the rope was dropped on at least middle goat. And now the wind is going to be a factor. So I zoomed in without my noise canceling mic. That means when I zoom in, you can't hear me as good. That's why I got to talk louder. Unfortunately, it's like a ghost town around here, so I don't think I'm bothering anybody. All right, let's go to the Euro. Day by day, this is pivotalweather.com, and there is our storm winding up and pulling out. Very windy tonight. Now, there may be wind hold issues if you're still thinking about skiing, and I know most people watching this aren't even remotely thinking about that, but the wind hold issues should ease, and high pressure comes in with the cold air tomorrow night. Could be some record cold, some more ice in the bucket in Weymouth, but I won't know because we're not there to see it, but somebody will send me some ice images as that cold high goes by, and it goes off to our south, so the warm-up on the backside happens fairly quickly, but it's so cold that even as it's warming up, there's the 540 line where it shows rain and elevation snow coming at us on Thursday. That's one wave that's coming in here. That's a warm frontal wave, and it looks like that tries to ease out with a new storm forming to our south. Friday, we're maybe in a gap there, but then Friday night, look at that. Rain, lower elevation, sleet is the purple, blue is the snow. Quite a wintry mess here. Now, this is coming in Friday night and Saturday, and that pulse lifts out. That's another 1 to 2 inches of QPF, rain, where it's all rain. And if it's snow, that could be another 5 to 10 inches of elevation snow. And then it reloads again and kind of backs into Cape Cod on Sunday and tightens up the gradient again. So we're looking at a potential 2 to 3 day nor'easter by the coast. Surf is going to be up, surf, ski weather, but it's going to be an onshore wind until about Sunday night and Monday. And now we get into a briefly quiet period here now Monday into Tuesday. Remember yesterday the Euro had 70 degrees in Boston on Tuesday? Well, forget that now. It has a front coming through here Tuesday with all those blue lines coming back down again, and there's another batch of Arctic air coming in north of New England next Wednesday into Thursday, and this takes us out now to Friday, April 17th, and we are right on that 540 line, and there's not much going on, but that would be cold enough for snow, and there is a front right over us with high pressure, so maybe we're done with winter at this point. At that time, it looks like most of Canada is less cold, and we have real warm to hot weather in the southern United States, but nice to see that we're getting a break from all that severe weather, and I don't see any of that severe weather. This front that's over New England right now, I guess that's the end of that weather part. This front, I want to show the real wide satellite image from our new GOES 19 geostationary satellite. And you can see the low that's in southeastern Canada is separate from that front now that's offshore, stretches from Nova Scotia to south of Florida. That is the front that has caused days and days of severe weather and flooding. So we've pretty much mixed out that warm and that cold, and now we're going to get a break from severe weather season for a while. Probably a week and a half or so before we ramp that back up, and maybe we're done with the snow around here. You can hear the birds singing. Look at that just gorgeous line of blue sky right there. Oh, I can't take my eyes off it. So we're going to be calling the play-by-play around here. And yesterday, making the move from down at Big Red's Stowe Motel and Snowdrift and coming up to the mountain. It was just really fun meeting more people, and I can't remember all the different things. So yeah, walking over by the skating rink, which is shutting down. That looks like quite a project on doing the skating rink, and T-Rex and I playing some ball. So a little of us skiing this morning. I'll save some more powder skiing for tomorrow's Enmore. And now the Enmore from today will be just us concluding yesterday. And that daffodil, I said I'm going to keep an eye on this daffodil all week long. There was the daffodil yesterday. Here was the daffodil this morning. The saga of the daffodil. Snowing on the flowers in April in New England. Here's the and more. Really exciting times. All right, Rex, we're on the go again. And up the hill a little bit. Thanks for great accommodations, everybody. See you again next time. Look at all that beautiful open space. Stowe Motel, Snowdrift. Clouds are coming back in. You don't like even a 5-minute ride you don't like. Do you know where we are? Hear the cardinals? Hear the birds singing? Yeah, this is the toll house, toll road. And you go up from here, and it's pretty much natural snow all the way up to the top, from 0 inches up to 6+ feet. Right high up on the toll road is that snow stake. Snow stake way up there. Gotta talk louder. Season winds down. I always get sad when the season winds down. When I started coming here, that was the administrative building. Jeff Wise, remember Jeff? Mike. Those are the good old days. And this is another road, Notch Road, which will be probably reopening within about 4 or 5 weeks. Be my guess. I think. For now, though, you can still ski out. So this is where we get to solid snow cover right here. The rest of the way up. Frosting left on the trees from the rain frost last night, yesterday. Oops. So you gotta later check out?
No.
No, you've just been hanging around? Hi, Blue. It's the off season, it's quiet. Dogs can take over the place. T-Rex just sprayed mud all over the pig. No respect for the pig. And look at this is where we were ice skating 2 weeks ago. And even yesterday I showed you. There's still picking the ice up off of it. And there's grass underneath. Yeah, and I have to talk loud because there's music playing and I'll get a copyright. So there's the last of our skating rink. Let's go check out that daffodil I was gonna tell you about. This is the daffodil that we spotted a couple days ago. Still at 4:45 on our Monday. Looking like it might want to bloom. Let's see how it feels on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Clouds are thickening and lowering. Something's gonna happen. And more daffodils over here. And we've got some crocus in bloom. T-Rex, you see the crocus? Soon to be tulips and daylilies. Well, they're tulips already, but yeah. We're in the garden. In a month, this is going to be all flowers. But in the meantime, one more layer of snow. Good boy. Come on, Rex, this way. Yeah, let's go play catch in the back and wind up this day. Take a left, this way. Yeah. Now you're talking. Now he's showing me the way. Good boy, Rex. Yeah. Alpha dog. What's happening here? Down the drain. That was the race course. Less than 24 hours ago. All right, 26 hours ago. Did the snow soften up today? Oh yeah, it softened up nice. A couple hours of sunshine. What's going on up here? It's sad when everything winds down. I get sad when one season ends. It takes me a while for the next season before I adjust. What are they doing now? Breaking up the water bars? Try and help with the drainage? Looks like it. Okay, threatening sky here at Mount Mansfield. It's just about 5 o'clock, Monday, April 7th. Time to wind down this day. How about a time lapse of what I heard was a really dreary day in Weymouth. And then Cape Cod too. T-Rex, wanna play? Yeah, get that ball. While we play ball. It's called the T-Rex bath right there. He just loves doing that. That's how his ears stay so soft. Ready? Get that ball. Good boy. Yep, we call this corn snow because it's got the texture of corn. It freezes up at night and then it thaws out again. It only happens with old snow. If we get new snow and it gets wet, then it gets sticky. But old snow gets slippery. All right, T-Rex, that's enough. Where are you going with the ball? Okay, see ya. See you tomorrow. Oh yeah, something under there, isn't there? T-Rex. Arr. Rex, what did you do with the ball? I threw it, he dropped it. Guess where? Yeah. Sorry. I don't think I can reach that. Darn. All right, Rex. Do you have another ball? Find a waffle. Talk to you tomorrow.